Let me ask you a simple but uncomfortable question. If you have 5 million naira saved in your bank account today, do you believe it will be worth the same value next year? Most people believe that saving money in the bank is better, but here's the truth. The money you are saving in bank is gradually shrinking without your knowledge. And in today's video, I'm going to explain to you how inflation affects the value of your money in the bank. So first of all, let's understand what inflation is all about. So inflation simply means a gradual decline of the purchasing power of your money that is being reflected by the increase in prices of goods and services over time. So it simply means the money you have in the bank could no longer buy what it bought last year. Now, how does inflation rate affect the value of your money? In Nigeria, the interest rate for savings account is around 2 to 5%, while that of a fixed deposit is around 8 to 12%. But Nigeria has recorded over 20% inflation rates in a particular year. So this means the money by the end of the year, the money you have in your bank account, when you compare it to inflation, notice that the inflation rate is higher. Take for instance that you have a million naira saved up in your bank account at a 5% interest rate. That means by the end of the year, that 1 million naira must have accrued 50,000 naira, making it 1,050,000 naira. But when you compare to an inflation of 20%, it will be 1,200,000 naira. That means the inflation is higher than that of the bank interest that you received. It simply means at the beginning of the year, the purchasing power of that money in the bank, which has given you 50,000 naira as interest, is still lower than that of the inflation rate. And here is the question: is it better to keep your money in the bank or to put it in real estate, like investing in landed properties? So first of all, let's compare the two. The very first point we need to consider is edge against inflation. So between these two, which one of them gives an edge against inflation? As a result of the inflation rate that occurs annually here in Nigeria, the money in the bank has been proven to always reduce in value as a result of that inflation. Like I mentioned earlier, I mentioned that Nigeria recorded over 20% inflation rate in just a particular year. But when you compare that to land investments, when you put your money in the land, money doesn't just give an edge against inflation, because when you put down money, it provides an edge against inflation. The land does not depreciate. Instead of depreciating, the land keep appreciating as a result of development happening in that particular land, or maybe demand from people. It is better to invest your money in land because it provides an edge against inflation when compared to your money in the bank. The number two points we need to consider is the return on investment. So between land investment and bank interest, which of them gives more return on investment? So for land here in Enugu, land has been recorded to give massive high return on investment, especially land that are strategically located in developing areas or emerging locations. Here in Enugu, some land has been recorded to witness over 13% return on investment, but that's of bank interest at 5%. When you compare the two, you notice that land investment is quite better because land is finite and people keep demanding more for land. And as a result of this demand, the prices of land keep appreciating in value, thereby giving high return on investment to whoever that must have invested in land when compared to bank interest, which is mostly at 5%. Number 3 point is building legacy. So when you compare between these two, land investment or bank interest, which of them has the ability to build legacy? Land has been used by smart investors in order to build legacy. I mean, they acquire properties in strategic locations or emerging locations where properties are still very quite affordable. They accumulate these properties with the idea of passing it to next generation, because they know the property they bought today that is worth 10 million naira could be worth 100 million naira in the next 5 years. But when you compare this with your money in the bank, where Nigeria is always recording increase in inflation rate on annual basis. So for instance, imagine having 5 million naira in the bank. By next 10 years, that 5 million naira, as a result of the inflation rate, will no longer be worth 5 million naira. It probably will be worth 2 million naira or 1 million naira. Now, when you compare these two, you notice that land investment is very easy for you to use it to build legacy. I mean, something that you can acquire and pass to the next generation. Instead of putting the money in the bank, before you can send it to the next generation, the value must have been reduced. Now, between land investment and your money in the bank, which of them do you think is better to go with? Is it to invest in the land and then get high return on investment, or is it to put your money in the bank where inflation will eat up the value of your money? Based on my explanation, you know the one that is best for you. But if your plan is to invest in land, then go ahead, call or WhatsApp the number showing on your screen, and we'll help you make your dream come true.